So we started this company 20 years ago with very, very little resources. We went from zero to millions and millions of dollars a year in revenue.
We sell a lot of shoes and a lot of work boots to all kinds of people in the upper Midwest.
I've been in this business since I was 15 years old, right? So it's like there's been frustration since I was 15 years old. It's just like you just kind of come the next day and you work on them.
Yeah, I like to use discernment first before we just go gung-ho.
From a visionary standpoint, my deal was I just get up, I come up with ideas, we implement them. If they don't work, you go to plan B.
We didn't wait for anything. You know what I mean? Just let's start trying it. And then sometimes I would find out a couple days later, let's pick up the pieces and see what's going on, right?
Mike calls it whiplash, and to me sometimes that feels almost too aggressive, but there's probably an effect of whiplash that was going on. And I don't think I realized how that was affecting not just Mike as a general manager, but the rest of our staff.
The best thing a visionary does is they start great things, but before they're even close to finish, they move on to the next one.
I like to believe that if I bring 10 ideas, they're well thought out and 8 of them are good, not only 2 of them, but you know, let's be honest, there probably are some of them that are real stinkers. So,
you know, it's a give and take, and it's part of the relationship, it's part of the fun. So we had opened a new store, a new 28,000 square foot retail store in 2018. We had extreme growth, but we didn't have the structure in place to manage it. Travis and I were making all the decisions. And some of the best stories is just how we started with EOS. The fact that I'd given Travis the book on traction, that I want you to read this, I want to talk about this.
Well, I'm not proud of this, but as a true visionary, I didn't read them. I scanned through them and I was like, yeah, this is good.
When you start, it's a slow train. You got to build the momentum. There's a lot of forward and backwards, and there's some rough patches because it's a change. But it took about 6 to 9 months to really get into rhythm.
I would say for most visionaries, if they don't say that it was hard, they're probably not being completely honest. There's this feeling that you're starting to lose control, right? There's this feeling that you don't have your finger on the pulse of everything. There's this feeling that you aren't managing everything, and I'm like, oh, what the heck am I even here for, right? I mean, somebody else is managing the online stuff. Somebody else is managing the boot truck side of things. We've got my oldest son is working into some purchasing, right? And so sometimes I sit at my desk and I'm like, do they even need me anymore?
Travis has been in this retail business of footwear and apparel since he was 14 years old. So he has cultivated relationships. Our job is to come alongside that and keep cultivating those same relationships and create new ones.
Visionaries have to be honest about it, and I think that you cannot have the success that we've had with EOS if the visionary can't let go.
It feels great. You know, there's a sense of joy and pride that this is happening. We're repeatable now. I mean, we can replicate this place. It is now scaled to move to other areas, other organizations, with all of our core processes, how we hire, which is the biggest challenge of starting a new venture anywhere, is just make sure you get the right people in place. But the way we have it structured now, I don't have that fear anymore that we'll be able to find the right people, because I know with our process, we'll always find the right people.
I think self-implementation is rubbish. Most of us don't have the self-discipline to do what we need to do, to follow EOS the way that it was meant to be followed, to make sure that you're having your weekly meetings, to make sure that you have rocks that are attainable. You know, I was at the Prairie Family Business annual meeting last week, and I talked to 2 or 3 different people that have tried EOS, but they won't do it all the way. And that was my words to them, right? I'm not the wisest EOS guy. Like I said, Mike's the EOS guy. But from my seat, even from a visionary seat, if you don't do it all the way, it won't be successful. You won't get out of it what you want if you don't implement it all the way. I can't imagine what Travas Outfitter would be like today without EOS.
I don't ever want to think about that. That's not a good time for me. We've got to have EOS.
We're Travas Outfitter, and we run more efficiently because we run on EOS.